We start to the bottom right side of the map. We have a player who was defeated once already today in the PvP series. Can he bounce back? Can he make it happen? It's our yellow Protoss player from Splice. It is Stats. He's up against the pink Protoss to the upper left-hand side. Give it up, guys, if you're cheering on Zest. Zest versus Stats, game number 1, best of 3. The second time these guys meet today. Again, we thank you all for joining us. If you were here when these guys played the first time around, whether you just joined us, hello and welcome. You're watching the OG 6-Start Korean edition with myself, Wardy, here on WardiTV. Get action all week long from these tournaments, or from this tournament. Sunday we take the day off because of Shoutcraft Kings. We return on Monday with more StarCraft action, and WCS Challenger takes place from Wednesday onwards as well. So it's a busy week for us. Next week we are streaming every single day, so do not miss it. It's going to be fantastic. Looking forward to it myself. Hopefully you guys as well. What's the link to the OG6 Korea code thingy? I'll just type in the match arena thing when I can spell it right without capitals. Now, you did see in the PvP earlier today, a little bit of a slow startup a couple of times. This is actually the map that Zest decided to proxy gateway on earlier today. So that was interesting. Stats still not scouting, despite that happening earlier. Which is interesting, of course. Kind of intriguing. And you just see the Cybercore coming down on both sides. And we, see Cybercores coming down. Really not too much crazy, though. I mean, again, because it's 6 workers, we're expecting 1 gateway instead of the 2. And we'll see if players want to try and expand or try and be aggressive again, like Zest was earlier. He was really aggressive. He was playing 1 gateway, 1 base blink with 3 gates, and that was on Abyssal Reef. He was playing all sorts of aggressive playstyles. He also cracked out a macro game as well, though, so we really can't expect anything, as so far we're going to be seeing a probe and an adept on the way up for both players. You can actually see the difference between these players right now. Zest is using no skins, and Stats is using his skins, so it's a little difference. We're actually going to see mirrored build orders so far. We're going to be seeing that Stargate coming on down, and that's going to be setting up to allow these players to be a little bit aggressive potentially, but Stargates in general do create these weird scenarios in PvP when they go up against each other, because it does sort of lead into that Phoenix against Phoenix play, which is then very difficult for either player to commit out of. And if one player goes Phoenix and the other goes Oracle, they're going to take a natural lead in the game as well. So we'll see what ends up happening here as we open up. Time to Shoutcraft start on Sunday. Best place to check that out is to go onto teamliquid.net. Check the calendar on the right hand side. It will give you an exact countdown, how many days and hours until Shoutcraft Kings. So you can check that out if you would like. Depp just coming in here from Zest and does start to look to do some damage. Sees the Stargate as well. Both players are actually making the Oracle initially. Stats, he did not see the Stargate. It looks as though we're going to just see Oracle still building. Zest actually cancels and builds a Phoenix now, so he is going to go and try and hunt down that Oracle. So he decides to back away from it, even though Stats is the player who hasn't seen this. So maybe Zest just wants to try and get a little bit ahead on this. See what Stats does as a follow-up. Another Oracle, or is he going to make that Phoenix? It's dangerous to make another Oracle, especially considering he doesn't know what his opponent is committing into. And he is going to make one, though, and that might not work. I mean, he'll end up cancelling it, because by the time, you know, he'll see the Phoenix of his opponent before it finishes, and there's no real need to commit into another one, because he just isn't going to find value out of it. He really won't. This Oracle coming in towards the upper left-hand side. And we'll be flying into the main mineral line and looking to do some damage. Overcharge comes down, and well, there's the Phoenix. And this Oracle should have just suicided. Try to get 1 or 2 workers. Now he gets nothing. The second Oracle from Stats will finish. Maybe hoping that Zest is going to get caught off guard by the fact that he shouldn't really have made it. But look at that. Dark Shine from Zest as well. He's just going to rush up into those Dark Temple. And well, if Stats doesn't have detection out, this is so smart, because actually if Stats starts making Phoenix, which is the normal response to this, then all of a sudden the Phoenix will not be able to have any detection. DTs will just end this game. As we do see that over Oracle, though, the left-hand side, looking to see what it can do. Zest's third Phoenix coming across the map right now. There's that pylon coming down over here. to warp in those DTs aggressively, of course. Man, this one Oracle is the only detection right now. As he comes in, he will actually see the Dark Shrine. Stats clicks on it as well, so he gets confirmation. Oracle pushed away. New Oracle begins to build. Is it going to be enough? Well, does it matter, actually? These Phoenix could maybe try and hunt it down. Mothership Core is already going to be pushed away and forced to overcharge early. Double overcharge. Phoenix staying alive. If they can snipe the Oracle and stop it from revelating the DTs, that could be absolutely huge. As we actually see the counterattack from Stats. Stalkers coming across the map. Pylon just finish up towards the frontier from Zest, who has actually picked off that other Oracle now. So he picked off the Oracle across the map. It's all in this Oracle here to protect from the DTs. Don't forget, DTs can warp in aggressively as well, defensively as well, to be able to defend against this. Phoenix coming forwards again. Where is that Oracle? Where's the sneak revelation that's needed? He's actually sent it out onto the map. Stats, no, that's not really going to work at all, right? One DT starts to warp in defensively, so he'll begin to work his way through this. Mothership Core down. Phoenix are here. There is just straight up no detection in this base, and the Oracle is across the map. He's just going to try and go for the full-on base trade. But again, the DT's already swiping away at these Stalkers. He's already doing pretty good damage with this. Continue to work his way through it. Another revelation comes down. The DT will fall. We'll see this Pylon taking a few more shots as well. Stalker and Mothership Core helping out. You'll see a couple of gates unpowered there. And we'll see the Oracle from Stats trying to come in and help out. Across the map, these DTs have brought Stats down to just one probe. He is continuing to go away with this base trade. It is one Oracle on the map, by the way, so that's worth keeping in mind. That one Oracle can still provide the detection needed here, and that's why the Phoenix is just going to commit onto it. He kills the Oracle. But there's another Oracle building. Stats used the last of his money to get one more Oracle. Still free Phoenix, though, and by the time they get over here, I don't know, man. These DTs are going to be able to swipe away for so long against these Stalkers now as well. And look from this side of the map, he's still just sat here swiping away at Pylons. The last Oracle of the game. Stats' final hope is coming across, but more DTs just keep warming in. Even with one Oracle, the issue is the DTs can spread, and you can only drop one revelation at a time. And if you're still mining a Zest, you're still going to be able to keep on warping DTs, etc. Oracle is here, but where do you even drop the revelation? I just don't think you do. I don't think there's a correct way to do it. He drops it, he grabs one DT, and there we go. I mean, now the rest of the DTs can move in because he knows how low energy that Oracle is. Overcharge is used, and the Phoenix will once again begin to dive forwards. That's just going to lift up these Stalkers. Rather than diving for the Oracle, I mean, he is going to get kills as the Stalkers get dropped back down right beneath the DTs. I mean, as Stalkers of Stats come in as well, Zest come in as well, Stats is running out of units, and that will be game. Zest goes up 1-0 in this best of 3. Out and move on through. Bottom right side of the map from Splice, it's our yellow Protoss player. Give it up, guys, if you're going to be cheering on Stats. Top left-hand side. Currently showing that in PvP he is the best because he is Zest. Always trying to find new ways to say Zest is best, basically. Game number 2. And so far, nothing too crazy. Zest is best, as Silence975 in the chat. East is evil, Zest is best. If you guys are enjoying the stream again, don't forget to hit that follow button and so on. And do let me know who you're supporting in the chat. Love to hear from you guys. Love to hear what you guys are thinking, who you're cheering on, and all the rest of it, of course. So do let me know what's up. Let me know what's happening. Come say hi, and I'll be happy to hear what you guys are up to and who you want to see advancing through this group, of course. It'd be fantastic to hear. As we do see this probe of Zest coming down to the south side of the map. And then I guess we'll also probably head in towards the main base in the near future. Probe just patrolling around as this probe of Stats is going through to the top side of the map as well. And it looks as though we might actually have a bit of a mirrored build between the players here in game 2 of this series. It's funny that they're proxying in almost the exact same location. Stats throws his down in the corner, Zest throws his down a little bit more in between the two corners of this ledge. Mirrored builds right now. Let's see who can do it better. Stats throws down the Stargate. Zest will be just a couple seconds behind him up there. Stats is actually a couple of probes ahead right now, so Zest cutting workers to do this while Stats doesn't. And yet Stats actually still builds the Stargate first. It's kind of weird. Zest actually has a little bit more gas, which I assume is what happened here. He starts the Mothership Core while Stats will just start a Stalker. And so far I do like the Mothership Core over the Stalker. The extra energy to help defend this Oracle play will go a long way. It'll actually go a very long way, just in general, I think. Stargate going to be finishing up in a few moments on either side, and we will see these Oracles getting ready to go. Ooh, Mothership Core of Zest is actually going to check over here and actually will see what's going on. I wonder if he builds a Phoenix in response. That scout is huge for Zest. It's really great for him. Stats, of course, has no idea about it. And his Mothership Core just now on the way up, but he is 4 workers ahead, so he has to do less damage with this to be in a decent position. In fact, if neither player does damage, Stats will be kind of fine, being a little bit ahead on workers. Oracle's about to pop. And I do again wonder, does Zest go for a Phoenix afterwards? Yes, he does, to help him defend this. Mothership Core will overcharge, and one probe killed by this initial Oracle. Here comes Zest's Oracle. Overcharge comes down, but it can jump to the other side of the mineral line. And he is going to get a couple more kills than what Stats got. Zest 16 to Stats 19. Actually, this Oracle from Stats is back. And he has picked up 4 kills, so he did find a little bit more of an opening in the end. Now just sat here. Overcharge available. Does Zest want to use it? Probably not. He does have the Phoenix coming over, so a low energy Oracle is kind of dead weight right now. Something that the Phoenix can deal with later, rather than wasting the overcharge. So Oracle of Stats comes in, will do a little bit more, picks off a probe before being pushed back. And there's the Phoenix. And now this Oracle is going to be like, huh, that's inconvenient. Thing is, Zest already has 2 Phoenix because he didn't make a second Oracle. And so if Phoenix building from Stats, he just cancels it. He realizes he's behind. It's a good decision by Stats, because he wasn't going to get away with building that Phoenix, I don't think. So Zest, does he take the slight lead from this? Is that what we're thinking? Potentially. Just going to send 1 Phoenix out just to check Stats isn't building anything else. So Stats throws down 2 extra gateways. Maybe aggression is on the cards here from Stats, just try and break him on 3 gates. I guess we'll find out. Phoenix pops out and will start working its way through this Mothership Core, which will just relocate so that it can get towards the Stalkers. And that's when the Phoenix will probably realize that he does have to back away from this fight. Well, does he? Actually, more Phoenix coming in. The Mothership Core might be in a little bit of trouble. Mothership Core will die for Stats. And now, of course, the Stats has no defense in his main base. Most likely no Mothership Core for overcharges especially. And so he comes in here and he will just pick off some probes. Zest doing some great damage. The Oracle comes in as well. The Stalker isn't here to deflect. So this is actually going to be great damage done. Zest just has to use that Oracle energy. And he can start doing a whole bunch of damage. Pros will have to pull away. Doesn't have a lot of Oracle energy. I guess that's why he was perhaps waiting for a little while there to actually stop himself from, well, because he just couldn't activate the Pulsar Beam. Well, this Phoenix actually starting to go down, but still good damage done. Zest really slowing down his opponent. Throws down 2 extra gates of his own. Still actually trying to deal with the Oracle of his opponent as well. Stats is up to 10 kills on this Oracle, which was hidden away, so Zest is still down by 3 workers. It's kind of crazy. That is really crazy. The fact that this Oracle just hides away and manages to kill 10 workers actually keeps Stats in this game for now. As these Stalkers come in, I mean, no more Phoenix come in. No more Phoenix can be built here from Zest unless he brings that probe back in and actually builds up another pylon. Stats will throw down the Twilight Council to try and go from here and see what he can do. Stalker's still just gathering together on the main base. And we are just going to be seeing again. I mean, it's a lot of units here for Stats. But he isn't going to be too aggressive because he has got the Twilight coming, so he's got a longer term plan right now. Is he going to DT it like Zest did to him? Is he just going to go Blink? I feel Blink myself personally. Feels like if you want to go counter DTs, you just go for them so long ago. But, well, especially now because Zest can't build off the Stargate. The Robo is such a kind of inevitability, I suppose. And that's why I wouldn't like it if Stats went for the DTs. And he will go for Blink, and I do think that makes the most sense given the situation. Zest empowered the Stargate from Stats as well. Zest and Stats, I'm getting the names all mixed up today, I gotta say. As two Adepts do move forward towards the upper left-hand side. Pylon and Nexus coming on down. Pylon and Nexus coming on down. Seeing what we can set up towards. Two Adepts will start to shade on forwards. And there's a couple of Stalkers of Zest moving around as well. These Adepts are going to commit, it seems. They're going to get one probe kill right away. Going to see another probe takes a shot. Second probe coming down, third probe going down. Some good damage done here. As we're going to see two Phoenix and Oracle comes in, and we'll just be able to pick that probe off once again. And the Revelation hits those Stalkers, hits a few probes, and a gateway in his Cybernetics core. In bits and pieces. And still just seeing kind of another Observer moving forwards. Blink still on the way up. Still just waiting to see what the next stage of this is really from Zest though. I mean, I guess just Immortals and playing defensively. He has got a much faster natural. And that will actually help him a lot when it comes to continuing to build up here now. So that's something Zest does have in his favor. Oracle and two Phoenix to the right side. Still just scouting around the perimeter, seeing if there's anything else going down. Zest starting to take that worker lead. One worker up right now, but that'll increase to 2, to 3, to 4. About 4 workers it should be advantaging by the time this Nexus finishes up and restarts. Maybe only 3. But again, you get the idea that it's definitely Zest who is taking that lead here. Albeit so slight, and albeit with both players on a different kind of composition now. With Blink finished from stats, different advantages to the fact that Zest does have the Robo and Immortals being produced already. The Immortals, though, are a good counter to Blink Stalkers, and especially if you're just going to be sitting on 2 bases for a little while, you're not going to be caught too much out by the mobility of the Stalkers, I suppose, from Zest's perspective. So you'll be kind of happy with that. These Phoenix still just trying to do some damage and scouting and so on, but for now, having to back away from this position. So the Phoenix back off, actually going to loop around towards the center. Stargate's still up to the top side of the map. Twilight Council, Forge on the way down here from Zest. We have a couple of probes, a couple of pylons on the way up from Zest as well. And there is a Storm upgrade coming in from stats too, so he's going to go straight to Storm. That's so different in PvP as well. Storm is very good against maybe like a Void Ray based comp, maybe a very Zealot heavy comp. I just feel as though the Storm right now, against just a Mortal Stalker, I don't think it's what you really want to be going for. One High Templar here warped in to maybe try and hit that feedback on the Phoenix, and I mean the feedback will win the fight, as long as Stats gets in position in time. So that's our question right here. As we do have +1's done up from Zest as well. Overall, I like Zest's overall composition for the long term. I am intrigued by the Storm. Nice, you can see what these Phoenix are kind of lying around for, just waiting to try and catch a probe, making the third. And seeing that his opponent wants to try and take a third base is already good information for Zest. And that means he can maybe think about a third of his own, or to make an aggressive move out to punish Stats for that third Nexus that will probably still be on the way in the near future. Stalkers pushed away again down the left-hand side. As we see Immortals, Stalkers, Sentries have gathered up. Two Phoenix and an Oracle to the top side, moving around as well to see what they can get up to. Forge and the Twilight Council of Zest continue to come on up. With those upgrades, +1 in Blink obviously will change a lot here and will really power up this next engagement from Zest in the near future. Xkid8 in the chat says, not sure what that Storm is supposed to achieve, and honestly, right now I'm very much so feeling the same sort of thing. I mean, the Storm can be good at kind of breaking Immortal barriers very quickly, but against sort of Blink Stalker Immortal, I don't think Storm has any real place to be kind of set up for here. I'm almost certain that Archons alone would be a better way to play against this. Well, let's see if Stats can find something special, because right now Zest is a +1 upgrade ahead. He's attacking in pre-charge of his opponent, and he could really just get game-ending damage done right now if he wants to. Nice Storm initially. I mean, does bruise the Stalkers a little bit. Credit where credit is due. It's doing something. Forcefield's currently holding the ramp. One Archon was warped in. By the way, I love the Archon skin. It looks so badass. As we see the Zest, I mean, he's setting up to kind of fight this, right? And another Storm does hit all the barriers of the Immortals. Zest just kind of move commands through these Storms to try and take the fight. The Immortal goes down. Nice feedbacks on the Phoenix and so on. The extra Archons will start to morph in, but there's just not really enough here. Well, is there? There's still Stalkers here from stats. Zest, though, I mean, it's kind of close, I guess. Stalkers bringing back an extra reinforcing set of units. Is going to be huge here. Warp Prism will try to be targeted by stats. It's not going to be enough, though. Zest is going to have enough to take this, it feels like. He's going to get rid of that Archon. He's going to make this work. The Storm was actually really good, but only because Zest was desperate to fight up this specific ramp. But it still just wasn't enough, and Zest will just have too much here overall. Third base is still up. I mean, actually, did the Prism go down there in the end? Yeah, it did. So no reinforcements just yet, but there's only actually Zealots to actually fight right now. And obviously, Blink Stalkers against Charge Locks. Charge obviously helps every now and then, but generally the Stalkers are going to be trading a little bit better throughout, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. New Prism on the way up, 7 more Stalkers on the other side of the map, as Archons will morph in. Stats isn't dead just yet, but it ain't looking pretty. As we do see 31 to 22 army supply, and still that +1 attack upgrade lead for Zest. He is starting to mine out of the main base though, and if he doesn't end this soon, he will run low on economy, and stats will start to catch up just because he'll be able to build more and more. In the end, I was wondering about targeting the Prism, because at first he didn't get rid of it, but when he did get rid of it, it did stop Zest from making the kill and blow with further reinforcements past that. I like this, abusing the mobility of his Stalkers right now to come in towards the natural expansion. Probes are already dropping. You see a few Zealots warping in here, and we will see one of them going down. Second one as well, taking some hits. Probes pulling in to try and help out too. And the Stalker as well, going to have to blink here in a few moments' time. Very good stuff from Zest in general, I think. And look at this now, actually stats is across the map. The Stasis will try and buy some time. Mothership Core died across the map, by the way. So that's something Zest has to replace, as he is losing Stalkers over the map as well, while killing some probes. He's got Stalkers over here still. His own probes coming in to fight. Zest down on Workers. Can he hold off against all these Archons? Some Adepts coming in, even though there isn't Glaives. The overcharge pops as the Mothership Core is now here. And as these Archons are on their own, they do start to die a little bit faster. A nice blink to the side to force the Stalkers back. And now he gets a free pickup on this Archon. So Zest will still clean this up, it seems. And Stats loses one more Archon. And there's still Stalkers across the map. Absolute chaos though all over the place. Players are doing absolutely everything they can to try and put an end to the game in their own favor. Glaives will finish up now from Zest as well though, and that's just going to be another set of units he can utilize. Adepts are actually going to be very powerful against so many of these Zealots, it feels like. And they'll just be a little bit better as a kind of a front line, rather than these Stalkers having to consistently kite time after time. Zest is once again up 20 army supply. He is down in work count, but I feel as though the army supply might just be enough this time. He's got a Prism here for a secondary blink almost on some of these Stalkers, and of course to warp in reinforcements as well. The Archons alone won't target down that Prism in time. As we see now, Stats gives up the third Nexus. The Archons are going to keep on dropping, and that's just going to be Zest picking off the rest of this here. Everything else will go down, and it looks as though Stats is going to be knocked out. Zest does take it. A 2-0 to close out the series.